Good evening, Class 3. Get ready with your social studies book. Today we will learn Chapter 4 Caring for Each Other. The topics we will cover today are Fortunate and Unfortunate People, How Can We Help, and Thinking About Others. Everyone needs the basic things like food, clothing, house, love, care, friends, and help. The fortunate or the lucky people enjoy these privileges. Sometimes people are also fortunate because good things happen to them. How can you differentiate between fortunate and unfortunate people? Now, how fortunate are you? Take the things that you have: a home to live in, people to look after you, such as your parents or your relatives, toys to play with, fans when the weather is hot, food to eat and clothes to wear, a school to study in, fun times like party or outings, warm clothes when the weather is cold. So more or less, if you have these things with you, if you enjoy these privileges, then you are fortunate enough. Now a lot of people do not have such advantages. They have difficulties of different kinds. Now such people need our care, they need help, and they also need friends like us. We must think about them. Here are some people who need more care and help than others. Who are they? The people who are poor. Many children in India are born to poor parents. The parents work hard so that they can give their children food, the basic thing. But sometimes they are not able to afford the other things like proper clothes or toys. They may not have a nice place to play. They may not be able to go to school. People who are ill or who have disabilities or special problems, they need our help too. A lot of people have difficulties like they cannot see or they cannot hear. They cannot walk properly, so may need to use a wheelchair or other help for walking. They may have serious illnesses that make them weak. Such people find it difficult to do some things that others can do easily. They may need more help in their daily lives than other people like us. For example, a child in a wheelchair may not be able to pick up something that has fallen on the ground. A person who cannot hear will not be able to take part in a conversation that other people are having. So these are the people with disabilities. Braille is written with raised dots for each alphabet. How do the blind people read them? By filling the dots. Sign language using fingers and hands helps the deaf people to understand what is being said. Now we will learn about people who are different. Often in a school or neighborhood, there may be people who are different. A person may be very short or very tall, or perhaps have a different skin color than others. They may be belonging from a different state or different country. Perhaps they have come from another place, so they look different or they speak differently. There are many people who laugh at such people and may even bully, means frighten or hurt them. This makes them lonely and unhappy. We can all be friends. Whether our skin color is different, whether we are tall or short, it does not matter. Old people. When people get old or they get aged, they can have several difficulties. For example, they cannot see or hear very well. They may get irritated at times. They are often lonely because the young people around them are busy with work or school. Many old people have to take several medicines and sometimes they do not remember to take them at the right time. So how can we help them? By assisting them and giving them the proper medicines and also having a valuable conversation with them. How can we help? Do you know any people who are less fortunate than you, and how can you help them? Many schools have children who are from poorer families. There are also some schools where children who are different or children who have difficulties study along with other children. In such schools, all children play together, study together, and help one another. You might have come across the proverb or the phrase, Sharing is caring. So if we share something with a person, it means we actually care for that person. So these schools are helping the less fortunate children. People who are different may be very talented in music, art, science, sports, or in some other way. With a little help, they are able to use their talents. A famous example is the scientist Stephen Hawking, who was diagnosed with an early onset, slow progressing form of neuron disease that gradually paralyzed him over the decades. After the loss of his speech, he was able to communicate through a speech generating device, initially through use of a handheld switch and eventually by using a single cheek muscle. He could neither walk nor speak, but is known all over the world for his scientific works. Here are some things that you can do to help the less fortunate people. How can we help them? Share your toys with children who do not have any toys. Ask them to join you when you play games and become friends with them. Donate your old clothes to the poor people. They might not have anything to wear. Often people do not want to talk to or play with children who are ill or have special problems, so they are lonely. Be friendly towards them, sit and talk to them, or help them to join in your games. Be friendly with children who are different. Share your tiffin or talk to them and play with them. Make them feel that they are not alone. Spend some time every week talking to the old people in your neighborhood, like your grandparents or any other people who live near you. This will make them happy. Now, how can we think about others? When we are happy, it is easy to forget about other people who may not be happy. The main thing is for us to think of others and to be kind towards them. Kind people notice when someone is being unkind to another person or when they are being cruel to an animal. Kind people try to stop cruelty. When someone does a good deed or a good action for you and you return it by doing a good deed for someone else, this is called pay it forward. When everyone pays it forward, it makes a chain of good deeds. It is nice to do one good deed every day. In this way, being kind becomes a good habit. When we are kind, we show people that we care about them. Thank you, children, for cooperating well and having the patience to listen. Go through the chapter once again and finish the exercises at the back of your book. Next day, we will continue with chapter 9, A Healthy Environment. Be safe.